You can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would like to listen in a still position, you can feel free to take all the time you need to arrive there. You can let yourself fidget and adjust as much as you need to. Maybe do some stretches that feel good in your body right now. And just doing your best to step into the feeling role in the body and let your body move in the ways that your body wants to move, in the ways that feel good physically. So not thinking too much about the movement or worrying about what it looks like, but just following those yummy sensations you might get in the shoulders or in the neck or in the chest. And if your body is calling for stillness, then honoring that stillness whenever that feels right to you. And there is zero rush whatsoever. You can continue to move for as long as you need to move. Even throughout this practice, if you need to adjust yourself at any time, that is perfectly okay. And if you're in a space now where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. And you can just mark your arrival into your body, into your practice today, with a full, intentional cleansing breath. A long and slow inhale in through the nose, filling up fully. And then just holding that for a moment to really experience what it's like to be full. And without straining, as you need to, slowly letting all of that go. Exhaling bit by bit. And gently pulling the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to just push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause to just experience that sense of emptiness. And let your next breath come to you as it's needed. So you can breathe just like that for as many rounds as it feels good for you. Just exaggerating the 4 parts of your breath. Lengthening the inhale just a bit. Holding that breath within you for a moment longer than usual. Exhaling a bit more fully and deeply. And then holding that air out of you for a moment longer. And allowing your next breath to come as needed. And whenever you are ready, if you haven't already, you can just release this guidance over your breath altogether. And allow yourself to step into that role of the observer, or the role of the witness in the mind. Into a point of view where you simply watch or observe the fact that your body is breathing you, rather than having any direct control or influence over the rhythm or depth of the breath. Remembering how the breath is the one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. So just playing with that control, guidance, structure, and then a release of that control as we begin today. Remembering that you are capable of simply watching your body as it breathes you. How the breath will function as it should, even when you are deep in sleep. but also knowing that sometimes this feels like a very difficult task to do. So it is perfectly okay if that's how it feels right now. And just starting to bring your awareness into the physical, into your own body, your own anatomy. And even with the eyes closed, just through your sense of feeling, noticing any expression that might be resting on your face. Noticing where the tension is gathering today, maybe in the jaw, maybe in the mouth or the chin, the nostrils, the eyelids or the eyebrows, maybe even in the ears or the hairline. And noticing how simply by being aware of where the tension is gathering, that automatically gives you the perspective to instead soften these areas. So if you notice that the jaw is extra tense or holding, next time your body exhales, releasing your jaw, just letting it hang heavy into place. And if at any point you have difficulty relaxing the tension in your body, anywhere in the body, sometimes it can be helpful to do the opposite. So instead, fully tense everything in the face. Maybe make the smallest face you can make, or the hands, and squeeze everything. And then do the opposite and release. So you can clearly feel the difference between when you are holding and tightening versus when you are releasing, softening, and expanding. And just letting your mouth be soft, the corners of the lips to soften. And just letting that naturally spread up the jawline into the ears, spreading across the hairline and down to the forehead and the eyebrows. Feeling the eyelids be soft, all those tiny muscles along the lash line that scrunch up when you squint, even feeling those soften a bit. And just allowing the eyeballs to rest in their sockets. Letting your gaze rest wherever you are looking. And just noticing anything at all that you might see. Even with the eyes closed, even if it's just the backs of the eyelids. Just staring into that space. Softening the nostrils. And as you are looking and seeing whatever it is that you see, starting to envision what shape your body is in right now. Maybe seeing the shape of your own skeleton in the position that you've chosen. Maybe you're noticing that the shoulders are almost curved inwards. Maybe the head is dropping. Maybe there's some area within the body that feels like it's in pain or is in pain, or an area of discomfort. And again, just by being from this perspective of noticing, that gives you the power to adjust. And so if you've noticed that maybe your heart is in this more safe position with the shoulders kind of curving around the heart, Just bringing attention to your collarbones and letting the collarbones widen and expand. Maybe feeling the tips of your shoulders reach away from each other so that your heart is resting between your upper arms in this more proud position. And as you adjust your heart space, you might notice that the chin comes up. Maybe the back of the neck crunches down slightly. And so just letting your chin tuck down slightly toward the heart, just so that you feel a nice, straight, direct line up the back of your neck. And just softening your stomach into this posture, softening your glutes and your pelvic floor. And so feeling whatever part of you is making contact with the ground beneath you become heavier and heavier as you just let yourself be supported. And at the same time, again, without thinking about this, just letting whatever part of you is facing the sky above you to feel light and almost magnetically drawn upward. As you hold these opposing sensations of being heavy and light and lifted at the same time. Again, without thinking, this is not a thinking or doing process, but just a feeling, a listening and observing one. Just reminding yourself that you are capable of holding opposing sensations, opposing feelings. And just letting yourself be as big as you actually are. Letting yourself take up as much space as you do. And releasing any need to maybe make yourself smaller. And just taking on a curious perspective. Becoming curious about how your body is physically feeling right now. How your mind is feeling right now. How your heart is feeling. Reminding yourself that each and every time you show up to a practice like this one, you will have different findings. And there is no need to hold yourself to any expectations of how you expect to feel or how you think you should be feeling. But just trusting that whatever you are feeling, whatever you are moving through in your life, is exactly where you're meant to be, simply because you are there. And if you bring some awareness into your heart space, you can just begin to trace the space between your heart and your head. With your awareness, just letting your awareness travel from your physical heart, up the throat, into the skull, into the brain stem, and up into the brain itself. Maybe even feeling a sense of a heartbeat in your head. As you just remind yourself of your anatomy and how your heart is connected to your brain. And just by being aware of this innate connection is what allows this to grow. And just allowing your mind to be fueled by your heart. So you feel a little bit more trust with yourself and your instincts and on anything your heart is trying to communicate to you. Remembering the natural intelligence of your heart that is unmatched. and how you already know all you need to know about yourself, your life, your journey, your purpose maybe. All these answers to these deeper questions with our life lie within ourselves. And the answers to these things can be sparked by things outside of us, maybe books or teachers or events. But ultimately, we learn everything we need to know about ourselves by simply spending time with ourselves, by approaching ourselves, our mind and our hearts from this curious perspective. Being open to what you find and trusting that there will be some things you might label as negative that you might find within you, or maybe some darker, more painful things. And having a healing practice is not about ignoring these darker sides of ourselves and focusing only on the light and trying to grow the light so it pushes out the dark. But this practice is about stepping into the reality of life and who we are. And reality does include things that are painful, suffering, hard things that we will move through. It is part of this human experience that we will all experience. And this life also includes love and joy, happiness, laughter, music. And the presence of one does not negate the existence of the other. Again, you are capable of holding opposing feelings. You do not need to pick a side, and you do not need to feel any specific way. This healing path is not one that is linear. You will not just constantly be feeling better and better every day. But we may be feeling better and better, and then worse and worse. Maybe better and then worse. And we are not meant to become this whole and perfectly healed, fully wise person. We are just meant to experience what we are meant to experience here in this life and to share the things that we learn along the way. So just releasing any of that pressure you might put on yourself to be the best version of yourself or be your highest self at all times. And just giving yourself a break, approaching yourself with a sense of patience and understanding the same way you would with anyone else who you love dearly. You know that people make mistakes. People move through hard times. And that doesn't mean that people are bad. So it does not mean that you are bad. It just means that you are a human. And you are still learning. As you should. And so just noticing if any tension is crept back anywhere in the body, in the face. And just reminding these areas to be soft once again. And you can just listen to the following words written by young Pueblo in his book called Lighter. And just allow anything that feels like it resonates with you to soak in a little bit deeper and not worrying about the rest. I feel like a student fortunate to learn from the wisdom that anyone can access when they observe reality within the framework of the body. Healing isn't about filling your life with pleasure or never having a hard moment again. It's about being real and facing what you feel so that it doesn't accumulate in unhealthy ways. Being with the down moments is better than carrying unprocessed pain everywhere you go. Pick the path that lights you up, the one you know deep down is the right choice. Stop listening to doubt and start connecting with courage. Do not let the idea of normal get in the way. It may not be the easy path, but you know great things take effort. Lean into your determination, lean into your mission, lean into the real you. People who have experienced deep suffering and are still gentle with others do not get enough credit. To not let the hard things that happen to you win is heroic work. To drop the bitterness and still live with an open heart despite it all is a massive gift to the world. So you can just take the next few moments to let everything that you've heard today settle. And just reminding yourself that feeling when we hear something that resonates or strikes a chord with us is just when we hear on the outside what a part of us already knows to be true on the inside. So just letting those truths be enhanced within you so you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own instincts and your own internal knowledge. And just enhancing that trust with yourself. If it feels like something you would like to do today, you can just let the palms of your hands find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. Maybe feeling the pulsing of your palms into each other as you press your thumbs toward your heart and let your heart lift back toward your thumbs. And just feeling all of this power that is generated through you. And just letting yourself take one final deep and full breath into the body, filling up to every corner and edge of you. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of, as you let your head gently bow. And just taking this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat. Whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. May this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights, and may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you.